Sobering statistics tonight. New data from Harris County Health shows cases of HIV and other sexually transmitted infections are on the rise in our area and rising faster than anywhere else in Texas.
We're not in a fair fight. We're already outmatched and outgunned at all points.
I believe that it is quite highly possible that the AIDS virus is a result of genetic warfare testing.
It came from a private sector laboratory for money, because when they find the pill that you can take to let you do it again, somebody's going to make some money.
First it was Atlanta, and now Houston is facing the same problem. STD and HIV rates are rising fast among Black people, and no community seems safe. Katt Williams says none of this is happening by chance. He believes it's being done on purpose. In Houston, the numbers are especially bad. The city doesn't just have higher STD rates than the rest of Texas. Its HIV rates are also well above the national average. And Black and brown communities are being hit the hardest.
If you went on spring break in Houston, Texas, you might want to get tested. 28,000 people currently have HIV in Houston, Texas. 40,000 people currently tested positive for STDs in total.
Think about this. Around 42,000 people came back from spring break in Houston carrying an STD. That's just from 1 week, and it only counts the ones who actually got tested.
42,000 people. Do you know how many that is? And there's other people who haven't even gotten tested who I got back from spring break. They're just like, oh, well, I don't have that on my lip. Or, oh, I don't have no symptom of burning or itching or any bumps in my mouth or any bumps down there or anywhere like that. Like, do you not realize that there's people out there that could have HIV and don't care to give it to somebody because they just want to do what they want to do and they want to live their life, because to them it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I can live with this, someone else can. Baby, that's 42,000 people.
But y'all, it gets worse. This man is going viral for allegedly testing positive for every single STD available on the test. And that's after he vacationed in Houston for spring break.
It gets even more shocking. One man went viral after testing positive for every STD on the panel. And this was right after he spent spring break in Houston. People are asking the obvious questions. Why aren't folks using protection? And why take such big risks with strangers? When you look at the numbers, it really isn't worth it.
The highest rates of new HIV cases were seen in Montrose, followed by the second ward, and then Setgast. Although the sexually transmitted infections are found in basically every demographic in Harris County, the study found that there is one population that is testing positive for them more frequently.
Particular Black women. So Black women who are heterosexual are frequently getting STIs at a higher rate than other groups.
Let's look at the facts. A recent government report shows the national HIV rate is about 11.4 cases per 100,000 people. In Texas overall, it's 15.7. That's already higher than the country as a whole. But in Houston, the rate jumps to between 21.6 and 25.6 per 100,000, more than double the national average. The same pattern shows up with people already living with HIV. Nationally, it's around 308 per 100,000. Texas is at 327. In Houston, it's between 464 and 566. That means if you live in Houston, your chances of exposure are much higher than almost anywhere else in the United States. Black people in Houston and across the country are being affected at much higher rates than other groups. The CDC reports confirm this. Officials usually point to lack of education, limited healthcare, and risky behavior as the reasons. They make it sound like a string of bad personal choices. But Katt Williams has a different take. He says these problems, poor education, weak healthcare, and risky behavior, are not accidents. He believes they are planned.
They know where to look. You probably wonder, why do white people pay so much attention to Black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it? I don't pay attention to things I don't like.
Katt has made similar comments before about the fentanyl crisis. He pointed out that Black people are dying from fentanyl overdoses at higher rates, even though they are not the ones making or selling the drug.
I'm gonna tell you a statistic's gonna blow your mind. There are 0
When Katt says this is by design, he's asking a bigger question. Instead of just asking why people are making bad choices, he wants us to ask, who set up the situation so those were the only choices available? Katt has been in the entertainment business for decades. When he talks about this being intentional, he's speaking from what he's seen firsthand. For years he has warned that the music industry, especially rap and hip-hop, has been taken over and used to harm black communities from within.
They sell a lifestyle.
Even like in the rap world, like all of the rappers that you know that never been to jail and never gotten in any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like those are federal informants. Like,
you think they're really out there?
Yeah. That's part of the job, is to acquire those. It's like saying, if you're playing chess, do you have any pawns? You have to, don't you? You can't start without them.
Think about who owns the major record labels. They are almost all run by white executives. These companies sign black artists, market the music to black audiences, and make huge profits. But they're not just selling songs, they're selling a certain lifestyle. Mainstream rap often pushes lyrics about sleeping around, pimp culture, violence, drugs, and gang life. No one is forcing people to listen, but these are the songs that get funding, heavy promotion, and algorithm pushes. Young artists often feel they have to make this kind of music or they won't get paid. The people running the labels don't live in the neighborhoods they're targeting. They stay in safe, wealthy areas and send their kids to good schools. They profit from the lifestyle while the communities dealing with the consequences fall apart. This is exactly what Katt has been calling out for years. When he spoke up, the industry pushed back hard, calling him crazy, bitter, or jealous.
What I'm getting at. I read that you felt that the government was deliberately spraying cold germs in subways, was deliberately trying to make people ill with the AIDS virus. This is pretty serious stuff. Do you really feel that?
I believe that it is quite highly possible that the AIDS virus is a result of genetic warfare testing.
By American agents?
Absolutely.
Well,
am I a conspiracy theorist? I'm a conspiracy theorist.
If you spend years promoting the idea that sleeping around is cool, that using protection isn't manly, and that women are disposable, what do you think will happen to STD rates? It's simple cause and effect. And Katt says that's exactly how it was planned.
In 1932, the United States Public Health Service launched an unethical research project to examine the effects of untreated syphilis. The project was called the Tuskegee Study because it recruited 600 black men living in Tuskegee, Alabama. Researchers told the men that they were being treated for bad blood.
There's more to the story. An old interview with Will Smith that was taken off the air more than 20 years ago recently resurfaced. In it, Will told Barbara Walters that the government was using AIDS as a weapon against black communities. He didn't hint. He said it directly on camera back in 1998. He even added, "They're going to come after me for this."
They promised the men free medical treatment if they participated. While 2/3 of the men in the study were confirmed to have syphilis, not one received proper treatment for the disease they had contracted.
Some people say that was the last time we saw the real Will Smith, but that's a discussion for another day.
Pretending to inoculate people and that type of thing.
The idea being to kill black people?
Yeah, to eradicate black people. You must understand the concept was that AIDS was a killer. It was incurable at that point in time, so it was led to believe that if you infected people, it was the quick, non-militaristic approach to eliminate black people.
And that is something you know for a fact, that AIDS was actively being spread to other countries?
Yes, to African countries. We were at war. Black people in South Africa were the enemy.
But so it was about white supremacy?
Definitely. definitely trying to retain the white supremacy on the African continent.
This idea of deliberate spread isn't new. Remember the Tuskegee experiment? From 1932 to 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service studied 600 black men in Alabama. They told the men they were being treated for bad blood, but they were actually watching what untreated syphilis would do to the body. The government even promised free burials to keep families from asking questions. Over 100 men died. Many others went blind, and their wives and children got infected. The truth only came out after a whistleblower spoke to the press. Katt isn't making wild guesses. He's looking at real history, and it doesn't stop in the U.S. In South Africa, white colonizers openly admitted to spreading AIDS among black Africans on purpose. When you see this pattern, powerful people experimenting on black communities and deliberately infecting them, it makes you wonder if they ever really stopped. Maybe the methods have changed. Today it might be done through music that promotes certain behaviors, cutting school funding in certain areas, and keeping quality healthcare hard to reach. Same goal, different approach. That's what Katt means when he talks about the HIV numbers in Houston and other cities. He says it's not random. It's never been random. You can call it a conspiracy theory if you want, but history shows that many ideas once labeled crazy later turned out to be true once the documents came out. Things like Tuskegee, MK Ultra, and Operation Mockingbird. So tell me what you think. What's really behind the high STD rates in Houston? Do you agree with Katt Williams that this is being done on purpose to hurt certain communities? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.